About InfoSec Train, it was established in 2016. We are one of the finest security and technology training and consulting company. Wide range of professional training programs, certifications, and consulting services in the IT and cybersecurity domain. High quality technical services, certifications, or customized training programs curated with professionals of over 15 years of combined experience in the domain. Here are our endorsement: 4+ years of services, 70+ pool of trainers, 200+ courses offering, 30,000+ professional trained, 10+ valued partners, 150+ corporate delivery, and 20+ countries served. Here are the trusted clients and why InfoSec Train. Certified and experienced instructors we have. We have a flexible modes of training as per the requirement. Access to the recorded sessions. So like just for example, this session is being recorded. So, you will be getting those recorded sessions as well, and you have that access to them. Post-training completion support is as well over there, and tailor-made training. Tailor-made training as in whatever your custom requirements are there in terms of whatever the skills you want to upgrade upon. So as per that customized requirement, things can be tailored upon. Okay, getting to the main thing for which we are over here, and we have these 5 pointers which we'll go through. So I'll quickly give an idea about these 5 pointers to you guys so that you can get understanding about what CCISO is all about, which is from EC Council. Okay. Server agent is understanding the role of a CISO, overview of the certification, prerequisites, domains and core areas of knowledge, exam structure, and the preparation steps. The very first thing is understanding the role of a CISO. So before we jump into that and talk about these kind of pointers, so as per that, we can say when we are talking about a CISO is in Chief Information Security Officer, is a senior executive, right, who is responsible for establishing and maintaining the organization's information security strategy and the programs, isn't it? As you guys have just mentioned, like, okay, Monster also mentioned the Chief Information Security Officer in charge of overall security architecture of an organization. Exactly. So when we talk about in terms of information security for the entire organization, CISO is the one who should be the responsible, is the one who is responsible for all of those things in terms of information security for the organization, right? If anything goes wrong, who needs to update their resume, right? So correct. So when we talk about CISO, yes, their major role is in order to protect the organization's information assets, managing the security risk, making sure that we are, regulatory compliance, and also I would include responding to the security incidents which are occurring to the organization. It's not like CISO will be responding to them, like, yeah, but the plan, strategizing about it, CISO's contribution will be there as well, right? And CISO also collaborate with other executives and other stakeholders in order to integrate the security into the organization's entire overall, the entire overall business. And also, yes, whenever, like, the main key pointer for the CISO, and everyone would agree with that, is that whatever the security strategies, whatever the security is being implemented in the organization, it has to be aligned with the business process, isn't it? So when we talk about CISOs, has multiple roles. Yes, they develop and implement the security strategies. Like, for example, if there is any CISO, okay, in any organization, they develop a security strategy that will be aligned with the company's goal of expanding its, for example, let's suppose cloud services. So that CISO will be implementing a more of, like, those kind of models, zero trust security model, making sure that every user inside or outside the network is authenticated and authorized before accessing the resources. So that kind of a strategy will be built up. So these strategy will be supporting the company's growth, and as well as protecting the sensitive customer data as well. Risk management can also be included, right? Oversees the regular risk assessment so that they can identify any potential security threats, like maybe any APT based targeting their intellectual property, right? Implementing advanced threat detection systems as well, conducting penetration testings so that we can evaluate the effectiveness of the existing security measures, all of those things, even incident response, security awareness and training, collaboration with the executives, policy development and compliance, as you guys have mentioned. So all of these is, these kind of pointers will be there when we talk about in terms of role of a CISO. I have mentioned a couple of them, like, it could be vast. It could be not. It's vast actually. So I have just mentioned, like, 4 to 5 pointers in an easy manner. Like when you talk about understanding the role of a CISO, develop and implement security strategies, right? So CISOs create comprehensive security strategies that aligns, just a second, yeah, that aligns with the organization's overall goals and objectives, right? So just we discuss whatever the business goals are there, as per that, your security strategies need to be aligned as well, right? Apart from that, risk management is there. We just discussed, like, oversees the entire risk of the organization. So they continuously assess and manage cybersecurity risk by evaluating the effectiveness of existing security controls, developing risk mitigation plans as well. Incident response. In the event of a security breach or cyber attack, CISOs lead incident response team, ensuring swift and effective action to minimize the damage and restore the normal operations. Right? It has to make sure, and even important that, like, our crown jewels should be protected as well. Crown jewels, as in the ones which holds most, like the ones which are the most valuable to the organization, isn't it? The critical assets. So making sure they are protected, right? Apart from that, as mentioned over here, security awareness and training. See, it seems like a small thing though, but it's really very important. Security awareness and training should be there. CISO should promote a culture of security awareness within the organization by providing training and education programs for employees on cybersecurity best practices. We have all seen these things in organization. We go through the security awareness and training program, and it is one of the most important thing as well. People might neglect that, but it is important. Like if you go through the threat landscape nowadays, it has increased vastly, right? And people has always been targeted, like, although in cybersecurity there's a term, like, we also call this in this way, that uh humans are considered, or humans are considered to be the weakest link in the cybersecurity. But having said that, with proper training and awareness, they can be the strongest link as well, right? Because see, for attackers it's very easy to target humans. It's, because the humans are the, you can say, those are the assets, or those are the ones, those who can go inside the organization and those who can get outside the organization as well, from that environment, from that network, right? So they can carry the attack as well into the organizations. That's why attackers, they target humans, okay, and take an advantage of their this nature. Because generally when we talk about in terms of security awareness training program, we teach them most importantly regarding phishing and social engineering attacks, because these are the things which attackers look out for, because humans have this nature to trust, nature to help, and they have this, all of these kind of nature, greed, many things. So attackers take an advantage of it. So sending a phishing email, manipulating, playing psychologically over there, because if any employee clicks on a link or download any attachment and execute it, so what happens? The malwares are triggered and they get inside the system, and then attackers are having an entire channel over there, and they can perform the lateral movement, or they can go inside multiple other system and perform an attack, right? Or they can uh, impact the organization in a huge manner, due to which organization will face suffer a lot of kind of an impact, right? There'll be legal impacts, financial impact, operational impact. So in order to prevent for such kind of a things, it's important to go with the security awareness and training, right? Collaboration is also there. um, yeah, CISO collaborate with other senior executives such as the CEO, CIO, and board of directors to ensure that security is integrated into the organization's overall strategy and operations, right? So it's like meeting with the CEO, CIO, and board of directors to discuss cybersecurity initiatives and their impact on the company's strategic goals. So they work together to make sure that the security considerations are properly integrated into the new product developments, and overall business operations as well. So this collaborative approach helps them to align the company's cybersecurity posture with its proper growth and any innovation objectives, making sure that security is not an afterthought but a fundamental part of the business strategy, right? So many roles can be there, as we just discussed. Policy development, right? That can be also included over here. Policy development and compliance also, right? Isn't it? So CISO, they're responsible if they're working in any of the company, any global manufacturing company, for example. So they're responsible for developing and enforcing the cybersecurity policies that will be complying with the international standards like your ISO 27001, right? And industry specific regulations, maybe like your NIST framework for critical infrastructure, that way. So they create these detailed guidelines for data protection. You can see including incident response, user access management, making sure that all company operation they are meeting those requirements specifically, right? Also regular audits will be done, right? That is something important, and compliance checks they are conducted to make sure we are adherence and to identify any areas for improvement as well, right? If there is any gap, we'll try to sort it out, right? Policy development, compliance, even budget management as well in terms of security basis. And this is the reason I'm talking about these things, okay? Because in CISO, when we see what all domains are there, these specific things are mentioned over there, right? Apart from that, can we include third party risk management as well? Isn't it? Correct. So if you're working in a company, CISO will be overseeing, the security aspects of your supply chain, making sure the third party vendors and partners they adhere to the company's cybersecurity standards as well, right? So that kind of assessment is also done. So yeah, many roles are there in terms of data protection, privacy, threat intelligence, monitoring, data protection, right? Threat intelligence. Okay, when we say threat intelligence, not going with the technical aspects, but what do you guys understand with the term threat intelligence? And you can also include monitoring along with that. Think from CISO's perspective, why do you think this is important? Or this would be a role? What do you say? Ozra, absolutely, I was going to cover with this threat intelligence part as well, because we can gather those intel about them, right? We have to get updated about them as well. Thing is, it's popularly for the proactive. Why? Because we are trying to identify the threats beforehand, right? So we can try to see what all attackers are out there, those who are targeting our organization, okay? And we can beforehand protect ourselves from those kind of an attacks, right? And like in threat intelligence, it could be anything. It will be including the attackers TTPs, tactics, techniques and procedures, their IOCs, what kind of a channels they perform use in order to perform an attack, what kind of organization they are targeting, what are their motive behind that, every that bit of it, so that we can catch them. First of all, we'll try to thwart it, or protect from these kind of attackers. And secondly, in case if there is any occurrence of it, we'll try to detect them and remove them as soon as possible. So monitoring is like using threat intelligence. If I got any IOCs, I'll monitor them in my entire environment, so that if there is any presence of it, we'll try to react faster on it. And also we can update our security controls with those IOCs which we have gathered around with the help of threat intelligence, so that that attacker won't succeed on the very first place, right? Correct. So, and as Uzer also mentioned, for cyber fraud, exactly, I would agree with that. As you make talking about in terms of phishing, security awareness and training. So many things are there, right? Correct, Uzera. Perfect. So cyber fraud also, like all those deceptive activities which are perform out of the internet or any like the other electronic means, so that they can achieve any financial gain, or they can steal the personal information or disrupt the business operations. So it includes a wide range of illegal activities, we can say, when we talk about in terms of cyber fraud, right? Phishing, identity theft, credit card fraud, online scams, fake websites or advertisements which are designed to steal the money or personal data. Many people fell for that trap, giving their bitcoins as well. Along with the help of that, the ransomware attack is also performed, isn't it? Bot attacks, screen sharing, absolutely, right? Ransomware, as I mentioned, malware, they can encrypt the victim's files and demands payment for decryption over there, right? Business email compromise, BEC. right? Scammers, they use spoofed or hacked email accounts to trick the employees into transferring money or any sensitive information using authority over there. Whaling attacks, absolutely, right? So many are there. So CISO, uh, as we have mentioned, they are responsible for the organization information data security, right? So they can develop the strategies around that. They can create and implement a comprehensive, we can say, cybersecurity strategies that will be addressing the potential threats and the vulnerabilities. Risk assessment, you can say, along with that, continuously assessing the organization risk exposure to cyber fraud, updating their security measures according to that. Policies will be implemented, security awareness training will be done, incident response will be taking place. Like, they can, CISO can lead the response to cyber fraud incidents, like, guiding them out over there. So yeah, many things will be included when we talk about in terms of CISO's roles over here. Okay, I hope that makes sense, everyone, isn't it? So many are there. Threat intelligence monitoring, as we just discussed. Similarly, research and development can also be one sector. Reporting and metrics should be there, right? Importantly, SOC management is also part of it, right? When I'm saying SOC management, actually, when we talk about in terms of security management means to check what is the level of security or what is the overall posture in terms of security of the organization. It means that security management means that. Uh, Security management, it's like we are checking whether do we have an adequate level of security or not, in simple. So it contains multiple parts of it, like, uh, policies, compliance would be one, right? Auditing would be one. Vulnerability assessment and penetration testing would be another one. uh, SOC is one of them as well. SOC operations, when we talk about it, it's part of your security management. So SOC, when you talk about security operations center, we all know it's a business unit, right? It's a business unit which is there in the organization in order to monitor, detect, and response to the incidents which are happening in the organization. So with the help of it, we try to first of all monitor if there is any incident. We should know about them as soon as possible so that we can detect them, we can handle them and remediate them before it succeeds and perform more malicious attacks, or more it will impact the organization in a huge manner. So prevent, monitor, as well as detect and respond, right? So that's the SOC. So with the help of, like, CISO will be making sure that we have a proper real-time monitoring and we are responding to the security incidents. So they make sure that the SOC is staffed with skilled analysts and we are equipped with the latest security tools and technologies, right? So CISO, they'll be setting up the procedures for incident detection, analysis, escalation, to make sure that we have a rapid and effective response to the threats. So these are one of those you can say in terms of role of the CISO. Apart from that, when we talk about, see, that was a understanding the role of the CISO, right? So regarding that, what do we have? We have a certificate from EC Council, which is with the name CCISO, Certified Chief Information Security Officer. So CCISO stands for Certified Chief Information Security Officer. It is an industry-leading cybersecurity certification program designed for the experienced information security professionals aspiring to reach executive leadership roles such as CISO. A comprehensive curriculum covers 5 core domains crucial for a CISO success. As I mentioned, in this one, we have certain domain in this entire certificate, 5 domains. It's like those domains are the roles and responsibilities of the CISO. Everything is divided into that. So their work, which they have past experience upon, those domains are included over here, right? What they are all about and what all things are included in it, that we are gonna see. Okay, all right. Just for the before we can talk about in terms of those domains, we have a prerequisites for the CISO certification vary depending on whether you have taken the official training course or not. Okay, I'll sum up things for you. First of all, without official training, if you do not take any training, 5 years of experience in each of the 5 CISO domains are required, and these are the 5 domains, everyone. Governance, risk and compliance, GRC. Second domain is information security controls and audit management. Third domain is security program management and operations. Fourth is information security core competencies. And fifth is strategic planning, finance, procurements, and third party management. These 5 domains are there. So generally, when you talk about if you want to, go for the CCISO certification, you have to have at least 5 years of experience in each of these domains. Okay, 5 years doesn't mean that you have to separately have 5 years over here, 5 year over here, 5 year over here, 5 year over here, and 5 year here. Because in total, it will make around what, 10, 15, 20, 25 at least. But it's not like that. Even if you have 10 years of experience, let's say 10 years of experience. In those 10 years experience, if you have worked 5 years in this, 5 years on this, 5 years on this, 5 years in this, 5 years on this, it will be covered. Does that make sense? Okay, it's just that you should have 5 years experience in each of these domain. Doesn't matter if you have a 10 years of experience, but you should have at least 5 years of experience in these each of these domains. Clear? Okay. And what EC Council also does, like this entire thing will be going to your verifier then. They'll be asking to your verifier. You have to mention there's a form. Okay. I'll show you that form. Yeah. Okay. So this is a CCISO exam eligibility application form. Okay. Over here, the process is that you have to mail at this, I'll show you, at this email ID. You have to submit this form. Okay. What that form talks about, as I mentioned, you have to have experience in these 5 domains. These are the waivers. If you have these certifications, then these are the waivers for you, Okay. For each domain. Okay, here. Guiding you out for the entire form. This is really important part. First of all, it will be requiring your details. Okay. Your first name, last name, address, city, state, country, postal code, business home, current where you're working right now, your home or business email, your current title, your position. Have you taken any accredited CISO training? See, the one which you were talking about previously. If you do not have, then your 5 years of experience will be required at least. But yeah, if yes, training center, like for example, InfoSec train, name of the instructor, you can put any like the one who will be instructing you, your class date, and you will be getting this subscription code. This subscription code is useful in order to access the official materials of CCISO. Not only just that, later it will be like you have to fill one verification form after that. Not verification, sorry. It's like a feedback form. You have to fill that. Then you will be able to get an examination voucher. So two things are there. If you get this subscription code, okay, this will be helping you to first of all get the official materials, right? Apart from that, you can also fill a feedback form. How this feedback form is useful, because this form plus this eligibility form, when these two are submitted, then only you can get the exam voucher, which will be used in order to give your exam. Because that isn't like, for example, if you contact InfoSec, for example, right? And when you are enrolling with it, so you'll be getting a subscription code along with that. Okay. Yeah. So this is why it is important. You can leave this one. This is not required. After this, employment information, like your experiences. Like for example, you're working in. Okay, if you have 10, 15 years of experience, we're considering into that. Your company name, XYZ, your job title over there, your starting date, let's suppose 15 years from now. Um, how much? 2004, let's consider. Okay. And end date, let's suppose it was 2010. Sorry, 2010. Okay. 6 years, let's suppose you worked on these domains. Maybe four. I'm just putting it up over here. For employer two, you can put another company name, EBC, job title, starting date 2010, then ending date 2018, for example. And for those 8 years, you worked upon. Sorry about this. Okay. ABC 10 to 2018. You worked on these domains, let's suppose. Okay. And after that, maybe like DEF, another company, if there is any, and 2018 till 2024, or continuing, you can say you worked on all of the domains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be giving them idea that okay, you have experience in all of those 5 domains, like at least 5 years experience in all of those 5 domains. This is what it means. Okay, so even if you have joined 2 companies, that's absolutely fine. It's just that you have to mention in those years which domain you have worked upon. And these domains are nothing. These are the domains which are there in the course also, right? GRC, Information Security Controls and Audit Management, Security Program Management Operations, Information Security Core Competencies, Strategic Planning, Finance, Procurement, and Third-Party Management. As simple as that, right? Then total, like they will be asking, since you have filled this entire experience form, that section, then they'll be asking in short, like in domain 1, how many years of experience you have. So it says 7, 8, 9, 6, 5. So you're giving an idea that at least 5 years of experience I do have in each of the domain, and it should also align with your experience which you have mentioned in this section. Okay, in this section, employment of information. Then we have waivers. Waiver is like an optional part. If you have 5 years experience, that's pretty good. Otherwise, if you do not have, then you have to, like waivers is just optional, everyone. It's like if you have those certifications, those qualifications, then number of years can be waived, which was mentioned over here in the starting. See, now the most important thing over here after waiver is your verifier. Verifier is quite important part, which is expensive waiver tool they were talking about. Okay, fine. In waivers option, yeah, this is most important part, which is verification, employment and CISO domain work experience verification. Here you have to Monsur, yes, exactly, yeah. So here you have to basically do what? You have to mention the verifier. Okay, when you talk about the verifier, these are the person, those who will be vouching for you. So for example, in your previous organization, in your current organization, if you're working, you can put that person's name. Okay, and that you will list out that okay, what that person will be verifying you for. If there's a person, let's suppose that person is Sayam, let's suppose, and his job title will mention, his company name will mention, his business phone, email address, and you will also list out that Sayam will be vouching for what, for domain 1, domain 2, and domain 3. Okay, so if let's suppose there is Monsuru, for example, Monsuru, I will get back to that question. Let's suppose Monsuru is there. Okay, yeah, is it exactly? So if Monsuru is there, so Monsuru will be filling the verification form, and he mentioned Sayam's name over there, and he says that okay, Sayam will be verifying me for domain 1, domain 2, and domain 3. So now EC Council will be contacting to me via email mostly, and they'll be giving me a verification form, and I have to fill it up, and I have to like tell whether I have to be honest over there that whether Monsuru has domain 1, domain 2, and domain 3 experience or not. Like I'm vouching for Monsuru over here. Clear? Uzera? Yes, like that. Correct. Monsuru, yeah. For waivers, it is mentioned clearly, which you just was talking about. This section is only required if you are lacking experience and requesting waivers in order to qualify for the CCISO exam. Okay, so you have to put your certificates, and only then they will be giving you a waiver in case if you do not have that complete amount of experience. Okay, so please list the certifications or waivers you are submitting for each domain below. Between certification and training waiver, applicant can only waive 3 years of experience for each domain. See, like they can excuse you for these 3 years for each domain. So, but for that, you should have these kind of qualifications which are mentioned over here. Where is it? You should have 5 years of experience as well, Vikas. No, this form is important. This form is used in order to get the examination voucher. So this is the most important thing. Otherwise, you won't be able to give the exam. So even if you're going for the training, even after that, you have to fill this form. It's like you're verifying yourself. Okay, eligibility. See, the title says CISO's exam eligibility application form. And that's it. Once you filled your verifier name and details over there, 1 or 2 or 3 verifier. Okay, after that, EC Council will be contacting them, and once they vouch for you, then EC Council will reply you back that okay, For example, Monsieur, you have been successfully verified, and now you can tell us, like whenever you are going to give exam, 15 days before, contact us in order to release the examination voucher code. Okay, so that's it. That's all you need to do in order to get the exam voucher. And yeah, you have to give your signature at the end. 3 times it will be asking for that, and sorry, 3 times it will be asking for it, and that's it. Simple. Okay, but yeah, this is one of the important thing which you need to know about in terms of before you go for the CISO course. CCISO course. Okay, you should know if you're eligible or not. In case if you want that form, let me know. I'll share that form with you guys. Okay, so these are actually the prerequisites. Okay, these are the prerequisites. So that is what is mentioned over here. Apart from that, I'll quickly give an idea about the domains and core areas of knowledge, which we have just discussed so far in terms of this one only. So domain one is there, which we have GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. This domain focus on the strategy alignment of information security with organization goals. So yeah, um, you can simply say that when we talk about in terms of domain one, GRC, basically governance is talking about over here. We talk about in terms of policies, compliance, especially, and frameworks and some legal considerations over here. Information security control and audit management is the second one. This domain covers your, identification, assessment, management of information security risk. Also, like risk assessment, control implementation, continuous monitoring, your audit. A small section is there of audit though, but yeah, it also talk about the auditing as well, because in examination as well you get the audit questions. Rest of the domains are there. Security program management and operations. So it focuses on the design, implementation, and management of an information security program, which aligns with the organization's goals and objectives. So like program development, operational management, all of these things. Sorry. Fourth one is information security core competencies. Core competencies in it will be like talking about the core technical areas like as mentioned over here, social engineering concepts, access control, physical security, system logs, malwares, vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, uh, cryptography, network security, regarding these things, a bit of a cloud as well. So different core technical areas, it will be talking about them, right? Vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, what are they, what are malwares, what is social engineering, what is access controls, what is physical security, all of these kind of things. And yeah, strategic planning, finance, procurement, and third party management. Exactly as the name is mentioned over here, it's pretty obvious that this domain, it will be addressing the strategic aspects of information security management, like a budget planning. A lot of budget terms will be there, financial management base or procurement base, procurement and vendor management things as well. It's a kind of a small domain though, but yeah, it's still there. So yeah, this is regarding that. So these are the 5 domains, the core domains which you talk about in terms of your CCISO course. Okay. Just to give you an idea about the examination structure, 150 questions will be there. 150 minutes will be there given to you. So time is a challenge, right? 1 minute for each question. Exam format, MCQs, everything will be MCQ, and passing score is 72 percentile. It like yeah, it is kept like that. But yeah, 150 out of 150, you can say, like, if you're scoring 110, 112, still, you're gonna pass it out. So in that way. Preparation tips: understand the CISO exam blueprint, enroll the official training, utilize the official material, and focus on application, not just memorization. So just to give an idea about it, uh, go with the get familiar with the exam blueprint when they are mentioning it, like, go with the sample papers, get an idea what kind of a question appears. They give you situation based or scenario based questions as well. Some questions would be direct, they will be dropping the some keywords or hints over there. With the help of it, you can directly give the answers. Sometimes you have to eliminate other options out in order to get the correct answer. But yeah, so point is, some questions will be long, I mean to say, or lengthy, because See, as clearly we have seen, 150 questions are there. 150 is the time limit, 150 minutes. So 1 minute for every question. So deliberately, some question might be there which will be taking you time to read, or which might confuse you. So do not focus on it because you have a good margin of passing. So focus on what you can give quickly, because just like in other certificate, if you talk about ISS square and all those, in those examinations you cannot go to the previous questions, isn't it? But here you can go to the previous question as well. For example, 150 questions are there, right? So we started from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, a lot of questions are there. So even if you're at sixth question right now, you still can answer first question before you submit the exam. And more importantly, you have two options when you go with the question. So let's suppose there's a question which appears in front of you. Okay, let's suppose this is a question. First question, A, B, C, and D option are there. You have to choose one. So in order to give your answer, you have two options. One will be answer, and one will be mark for review. You can mark it for review as well. So as soon as you click on mark for review, on the right hand side, there will be a column in which that question will be in yellow color. Okay, that question will be circled in yellow color if you marked it for review. Okay, sorry, I was trying to get the yellow color though. It's not working, it's taking only red. Anyway, now it's better. Yeah, yellow color. If you click on answer, then it will be in blue color. Clear? So in case if there is any question which you want to recheck, you can go again later, and you can which you have marked for review, you can just check it later. So that's fine. So you can go to the previous question as well, but in other certificates you cannot, right? So that is an advantage over here, pretty good advantage, right? Situation based will be there, so do not go with the memorization part. Go with the official study materials and enroll the official training as well, so that you can get those quick bits and quick ideas how to prepare for the examination, how you can crack it as well.